All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Amponsah, and this afternoon we are going to go into a conversation with a very beautiful lady sitting next to me by the name Jennifer Amponsah, and she's been working with Skin as part of the financial empowerment team. And we are going to talk about poverty in Southeast. We think it's important to look at some of the issues playing out and how we can contribute to relieving or alleviating poverty in Southeast. This is what this conversation is all about. First of all, let me ask my guest, Miss Jennifer, to say a few things about herself. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you very much, Reverend.
Yeah.
Okay, basically you said my name. I'm Jennifer Amponsah,
Yeah.
a mother of two,
Yeah.
and also a member of the Apostolic Holland Mission.
Yeah.
I'm a deaconess and also a Sunday school teacher in Apostolic Holland Mission.
Yeah.
And now I'm also a student of the Foundation Academy.
Okay.
I'm studying human rights.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah. First of all, so why do you think it's important to support that the support is offered through like community networks like the Skin Financial Empowerment, Empowerment Forum or group? To churches and market organizations?
I think the Skin Financial Empowerment and then organizations do that through churches because they believe that the people have already built their trust with them, and then they are part of their community, so they can relate to the situations that they are in, and then they tend to understand them more better. So when it channels through that media, people do not find it difficult to approach those schemes to work with.
Okay, I think that is very logical. So what motivated you personally to get involved in this type of work?
Okay, I attended a workshop of Skin Financial Empowerment. That was my first time. And after everything, I just realized that there is a need also for people out there also to get the information. So I, for one, I was already doing it for people, but not into detail. So I got to learn more, and I decided I needed to help myself and be able to help my friends and neighbors and the community as large. So I just decided to become an ambassador to be able to help.
Okay, so you said you were doing it before you got started.
Yeah,
I
was.
What level? Quite curious about that.
My level was with most people. They find it difficult with the Dutch language, and then when they get letters or they have to even call belasting for their debt to negotiate, we want to pay in term mine, and they find it difficult doing it. So those who know me, they will just come to the house and say, "Oh, Jennifer, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that?" So when I learned of the Skin Empowerment, I just decided to be part of it so that I can learn more and then be useful to myself and then the community. Okay,
so let's look at poverty in Southeast. The real life poverty, as we say, as you might say. Okay, so from your experience, what have you noticed? How does it look like on a daily basis? People you've seen struggling with poverty. Can you tell us some of the reflections you have noticed or seen?
Poverty in Southeast. It cuts deep, and people will say it depends on the situation, but then it's not something we can easily ignore. Also, it's there because you can find families who can go on a day unable to provide for their basics and necessities, because then they have to cut down on their needs to get things also done. So it goes across to a stage whereby they get into financial stress.
Yes,
that causes the mental health also. People having blood pressure due to debt, and then also people also at the sight of seeing blue envelopes in their letterbox also gives them anxiety. So then poverty in Southeast, it's not something we can just ignore. It's there. We face it daily, and it causes also strains on relationship in the family, because you could see a happy family, and then at a time you could see there is discord, misunderstanding, fighting due to financial pressure, because they need to provide for. That is why it comes in whereby you see couples also fighting over the kinder orphan, and because then they are not having a match to provide for the needs that they need in the house. So one feels as one is earning much and the other is not earning much. So it brings misunderstanding and sometimes also leads to divorce. And it's all because of financial issues and then the poverty that people face, but yet feel ashamed to talk about it.
Okay, so what's playing out here? Is it that the let's say the income, the financial means is not enough, and so they somehow try to rationalize what they are getting, or the ration what they are getting, but somehow they don't make ends meet? Or is it that majority of people are overspending or something like that?
Okay.
What could be behind some of these issues?
What I have noticed behind this is most of the times what they earn is not enough to help sustain the family. Because then when we talk about family, we will say just the family here. But some people have extended family back home also who depends on them. So the government here do not make the calculation based on your people back home. But then we have the people back home who are also dependent on us. So you work, but yet at the end of the day, you see you have nothing to save up to.
This particular point you just made has come up quite a number of times. And I think those of us who live here, who have extended relatives back home, you know, I don't know what we're going to do about it, because it's causing problems, you know, on different levels. So how do you think this problem can be solved? I'm just asking this off of the top of my head.
I think it's high time we will also be sincere with those back home. Then tell them, let them know the situation that we go through. Because I think some people started their lives here with a lie, make them believe that being in Europe is the best. And then when you are here, you get the best of everything. So people back home also have the mentality that you are living well. So then there are little issues, they bring them to you so that you solve it. When you fail to do that, then you tend to be a wicked person. So then it's high time we let them see the struggles that we go through to make that money or to even help out. So we should be sincere with ourselves and then let them know our struggles.
That's a good point too. That's a good point. Sincerity. Well, you know, they say cut your coat according to your size. So if you are blowing your trumpet, you know, you're showing off so many things, you're giving a false impression of yourself, then people, what they see is what they believe, right? You make photos of you not in a nice car, nice home, posh clothes and things like that. You show it off, let them know you're living good. And so when they ask you money, you must be able to provide, right?
Yes. But sometimes opposite to the situation.
Exactly.
So.
Oh my God, oh my God. Okay, so what are some of the struggles that people face that outsiders may not easily see or understand? From the people you have encountered, what are the most common struggles you've seen them face, which has led to financial struggles? Most
carry shame. They have their shame upon them, and then they have anger. Anger.
Really?
Because of their financial situation. Most people have anger issues with them, and then the little issue, they tend to burst out their frustration on you. So it's not something you see on the person's face, but sometimes you can read them with their body language, their reactions and reactions, so that you see that this person is not okay. So it's not always that you can use violence for violence. Sometimes you need to understand them and understand their situation, understand the person, where the person is coming from. And sometimes also because of the financials, I said shame, they feel so much that they feel inadequate, withdrawn. They do not want to be part of people anymore.
Really?
They want to keep their cool.
And isolate themselves.
Isolate themselves to keep their cool, so that people do not get to know what they are going through, instead of opening up and then getting the help.
I think one of the problems, shall I say, we Ghanaians or Africans have is we like to keep a lot to ourselves. We like our privacy. We really protect it so well. So much so that when somebody is going through challenges, you hardly,
say it. You hardly get to know. But
they want to keep it to themselves. And I think that's really, it's killing us gradually. Don't you think so?
It's really killing us, because we get to know at the end of it, and you hear this person is dead, this person is sick, and you be like, oh, I just saw him a few days ago. I just saw him, he was fine. We see them going on well, but then inwardly they are dying within. So we should try to reach out, and we should also try to be open about our situation and go for the help that needed.
You see, and that is why, this issue about financial empowerment is so important. There's no need to be ashamed about help that is available to support you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody goes through things at one time or the other. And so if it's your time to go through something, no problem, go through it, you'll come out of it, right? Nobody stays in a problem forever. It's only a phase we all go through. So I think it's important that we get over this shame and this ego we put around ourselves, and it's not necessary.
It is.
In fact, even the authorities have have been saying that people should stop being ashamed about some of their struggles. Make it known so that you
yes,
get the help that you need.
Yes, you need.
Yeah.
A friend once said that if you are not even owing belasting in this country, you are not popular. So it's good to owe belasting sometimes also.
Wow. Well, I want to be popular, not in that way. Not in that way. No. I don't want to owe belasting. Okay, let's look at access to support. Okay.
Yeah.
So many people qualify for financial support, but they don't apply. Okay. I want you to tell us why this happens, because you are in the financial empowerment area.
Yeah.
Okay, so so have you seen that people really who come, they do have entitlements, but they're ignorant about it. They don't even know how to go about it.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, I've seen a lot who are entitled to financial benefit, but even yet when you tell them, they'll be like, no, I don't want to do that. And with what we do as Skin Financial Ambassadors, we deal with the pack your cans, and then the purchase check, and then cyber bank, the not funds.
Okay.
We deal with that, and then the muddy funds also. So with all
okay, you're going to tell us those are the ones.
Yes.
I know about pack your cans.
Yes. Yes.
But the other ones to go.
Purchase
check, I know.
Yeah.
But the others I don't know. So you can throw some more light on those.
Okay. So when it comes to the not funds. Not funds. They are funds that we give to people who are really, really in need. So let's assume you are in a house, you don't have fridge, you don't have washing machine. You come to us with your problems. Then you give us the permission to come to your house. We make a check and say, really, you need those things. Then we help you get them. You need a bed for your house. You need those things. We provide all those things for you. Yes, we do. So the only thing is for you giving us the permission to come to your house. We check and see you are really in need of those, and then we help you. And then the money funds are also for people who wants to go to school, who wants to have some sort of training in the job that they do. So with that funds also, when you come to us, we can help you assess it, or sometimes we ask you to go to the B team, because what we do is similar to them, what the B team does. So sometimes you can also go to the B team and then ask for the money funds. It also helps you when you want to study a course, when you want to learn a job or something. It's also helping. It's money that they give to you to be able for you to use it for school. For studies. Okay. So we've once done that for a gentleman who wanted to learn about forklift, and he's very happy. He's learning.
Succeeded.
It's in school. We helped him find a school. He's going to school, and he's using the funds to pay.
Wow. Okay. So what are there categories of studies that people can follow with the money funds?
Let's say I've talked about the forklift, so we can use that for that. And let's say you are there, you want to continue education, learn something, hair, nails, like what course do you want to do, catering, anything that you want to do. It depends on your desire and what you want to do. So I think the first step is for you to make a move and decide that this is what you want. And then we will help you go on with that.
Does it cover like degree programs?
No.
That's why I wanted to be a bit more clear about the limits.
No.
Otherwise, somebody might. No. Okay, so simple vocational. Let's say courses,
trainings.
Okay.
It helps you.
Wow.
So then when you talk about also people not coming for the help that they need, it's because of past experience. Because and then miscommunication also, any misinformation, let me put it that way, because people in the past have experienced whereby they were given benefits and they were asked to pay back. So with that fear, they feel like when they come for those benefits, they will ask to be paid back, and they want to avoid those debts, so they will not come for it also. And some also get the wrong information because they don't go to the right places for the information that they need. So let's assume you have the start pass. You are using your start pass. So this year you were using it last year. So this year, if your income is high, the only thing they do is they stop giving you the money. There is no way they are going to ask you to pay back. But then people have the knowledge or the emotions that they will be asked to pay back what they were given last year. No, when the income is high, they will just deduct some of the money, or they will stop giving to you. When it's low, they add up to it also for you. And the most interesting thing is when we do the purchase check for you, with that check also you can also avoid future debt. because you get to know the benefit and the right amount that you have to get.
Okay, the purchase check reveals all of that.
Yeah, it reveals all of that.
Okay.
So when that check is done for you, you get to know and then avoid future debt also.
So you were three funds you mentioned, Node funds or money funds. Which the other one?
Node funds, money funds, cyberbank.
Yes, cyberbank. Tell us about that.
Okay, the cyberbank, it has to do with you asking for a laptop, but then you have to have a start pass.
Okay.
So you can have a slightly used laptop and then iPhone 12 without charger. Yeah, with a cyberbank. And people are just benefiting from this and they are so much happy.
They're happy.
Yeah, they're happy.
Wow. So I think if you are watching or listening to us, please don't deny yourself if you're entitled.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so for those who want to see whether they can get some of these things, they can attend one of the check-in,
yes,
what do you call it?
They can come to our check-in, our working centers. We have one at MCTC. Yes, and the time is on Thursdays from the hours of 4 to 6 p.m.
4 to 6 p.m.
Yes, okay. And then DNS also on Tuesdays from the hours of 12 to 2.
12 to 2.
And then on Wednesdays also from the hours of 11 to 2.
Also at DNS?
As DNS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, please take note of that. Okay, so what kind of fears or misconceptions people have? I think you mentioned about the fear of wanting to pay back and they don't want to get into any more trouble.
Yeah.
You've had enough. Okay. So how do language, digital systems, and complicated forms affect people from getting help? Because I don't know whether the form they have to fill, some have to go to the website to apply. Do all these things like pose obstacles from your experience?
Yes.
Maybe that's why with the borders check, you guys are now helping people to get rid of all those, to soften or lower the entry barriers for them to be able to apply, right?
Yeah. So language does a lot. The language does a lot because then we have people in the society who cannot speak the Dutch and cannot speak English also. Yeah. So such a person also can't read. Most also can't read. Yeah. So then when they see those forms, they don't even make much of it. Yeah. They seem not to understand what they have to do. So I think that is where we come in, because when you come to me and I realize you don't function well in both English and Dutch, I do my best to speak our local dialect with you and then to be able to explain further. So when you give them the explanation, the local dialect, they are like, oh, so this is what you do. So all that's why there has been workshops, but yet they don't really understand what goes on. So the language is also a barrier for them. And then with this new system of computing and other stuff, some do not. Yes, yes. And with the forms also, when you don't get the right person also to fill in for you, you end up making a whole lot of mistakes. Whereby your benefits will be, be allowed to receive them, or not get what is due you.
Yeah. Okay, so now with people who are not so literate and so they struggle with the language, English and Dutch. Is there like any way? Because there must be a segment of people like that. Do we know how many they are? Are there a lot, or is there a way you guys are thinking of, let's say, reaching out to them? Because it's not quite fair that they have entitlements, but they can't access it because of language barrier or something like that.
Yes,
because like if somebody comes to the check-in point or whatever, and you has this kind of traits or characteristics, okay. So I don't know why you guys say, okay, do you know somebody who also maybe has struggled with the language, English or Dutch, who can be helped? Because most invariably, I think they probably have a way of connecting with each other and discuss their issues, perhaps. So maybe via perhaps we could reach out to others.
I think in Zuidoost that we are
quite a number
of people.
Okay.
So what we mostly do is when you come to us and the language is an issue, when it's being done for you in the local dialect whereby you understand, it just has if you know people who also need help, then just let them come to us, direct them to us. We are here to help. So sometimes also it's shocking, they will just call you and say, I want to come to your house for you to help me. I'll be like, okay, you can come to my house and I'm willing to help. So that is what we do. And I know with the colleagues that we work together, they are also willing also to go a step ahead further to help people also in those situations.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. That's a great service. Okay, so let's talk about how your financial empowerment project is helping. So how does Skin Empowerment Project actually help people move from crisis to stability? Because it's nice to give them financial support or extend the help.
Yeah.
But do you have maybe a bit medium term or short term or long term, let's say, goals to help get a more sustainable something? Because they can eat fish today, but what about tomorrow? Can they stand on their own?
Okay, when you come to us, there is a need for us to help you.
Yeah.
But then we first have to deal with your emotions, because some come to us really disturbed and they are all over the place.
Yeah.
So you try to calm them down, and then what we don't do is we don't judge them, no judgment. And you make them feel comfortable and know that you deal with them as individuals. You don't compare others to them, also to make them feel less. So with all these things in place, that is what we do, basically help you, and then we go a step further. So when we apply those things for you, we keep in touch with you to know how did it go.
Okay.
Because after everything's said and done, how did it go? Were you able to receive it? Because it takes some time before you get your reply. So we want to know the outcome of it. Were you able to receive it? If they said no, okay, so now what is your situation? What can we do to help? So we go a step further to make sure that the help that you came to us for, we'll be able to help you. Because we have other partners and colleagues who are also in high places, and then they are also willing to help. So sometimes when there is a need to call them in, we call them in, tell them your situation, and they also come up with ideas and suggestions on how to help their situation.
Okay. So whilst we're speaking of that, I was some time ago. I know people like when people have very bad debts, they try to put it all together, and then find a way to take care of the debts and clear everything one time. Okay, so I don't know whether during your work you've encountered people like that who maybe your financial empowerment team is not able to help, but you maybe send them further. I don't know whether that's the system now. I don't know whether Build team are the people who do it, or who else does that.
Okay, right, so when we send you to the Build team.
The Build team.
And we work with the Multi-Bron also.
Multi-Bron, what is that?
Yeah, they are also organization at Fensipolder. They are also our partners. We work with them. So either go to the Multi-Bron or the Build team also. They also help with that also.
Okay, somebody can have a more complicated financial situation like debts. Do you forward them to those places?
For me, I've not had such experience with one before. But I think with a colleague, she was just telling me about it, that she had that experience. They sent the person to the BA team for them to help out with the situation. But then the woman called later and said she's happy she has received the help that she needed. Okay. So from the crisis, you follow up. I mean, to everything is going well. Okay, that's quite nice. So if you happen to have a need, don't be shy. They want to help you so you can stand on your own feet, right? That's the whole idea. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about I think one more thing. So what kind of emotional support do you give first? So you make them feel at home, you said, comfortable, and then support them all the way. Support you all the way. We give you the information and then we support you throughout.
Yeah. Would you like to share maybe one little example of somebody you help? You don't need to mention names, but like something you can tell, so we know, hey, really it works. You know, you took the person from the beginning all the way to the end. Can you share something very quickly?
So we had one woman who was a widow.
A widow?
Yeah, so she was living in a house together with her husband, and then the husband happens to pass on. So the rent and everything was on her. It was difficult for her to like pay all those debts and other debts also. So she came to us really disturbed, and at the end of it all, we were able to help. And she came back very happy and excited because due to that, she's now receiving huge slack and other benefits that she was not aware of. So she's very happy with us.
Fantastic.
And I think just last year in December, a friend didn't know that you can now the huge slack applies to all.
Applies to all. What do you mean by all?
First, it was for those living in the social housing with your rent lower than 900. But now when you are living in a house with your rent, the fry sector, you can also apply for your huge slack.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So just last year, December, I told them and I did apply for her. She was happy. And she requested I come together with my family for a free photo shoot.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. That's a good testimony.
Yeah.
So you have a chance, so don't deny yourself. Okay, let's talk about poverty, dignity, and well-being. How does long-term financial stress affect people's confidence and mental health and family life? I think you did mention something like that at the beginning. Can you just touch on that briefly?
Okay, with their mental health, it becomes unstable. There's coming stress, anxiety, and then sometimes also fear and panic. Yeah, because of the situation that they found themselves in. Even a common knock on their door brings them to a freeze point. What is going to happen? Is this person coming into this? Even having a visitor in a house sometimes is an issue. You know, in this cold weather, people are in the house without heater. They don't want to switch on the heater for extra costs.
Jesus.
And then the restraint also on family relationships.
Yes.
Misunderstanding, quarrels
here
and there.
Stress, the mental health. Oh my
quarrels God. Here and there.
So it really, So really, if you are listening, you have real financial issues, please don't wait for it to get worse. There's help out there. So please come to the check-ins, the Financial Empowerment Center, the newest start, and the MCTC, where they can help you. Confidentially, they treat your case. They don't share your case with nobody. They treat you with all the respect that you deserve. And so we want you to know this. Make it a point to join and to investigate, to find out whether you can be helped or not.
What we request of them is just to make a move. I think the whole thing starts with you starting to ask questions and going to the right places also for the right answer. Just come and we are willing to help. I think the most fulfilling aspect of this work is after all said and done, they get the help that they need, and then they call you that they are happy, the hugs, the words, the God bless you. You know, that's wonders.
So it's working. It's working. Awesome. So, what do you see people blaming themselves for these situations that are actually structural or systemic? Because sometimes, some of this, like the widow you spoke about, I mean, it wasn't that she went out to cause a problem. Something happened in their life, and then other things just began to pile out, other problems. Okay, so you know, when this kind of things happen, you don't need to blame yourself or give yourself the fault as if you created it.
And I think one of the things is we have to understand that in this country or in this society that there are gaps. There are gaps in the system that we do not create them. They are there already. We met them as it is. But sometimes we don't get to realize that there are gaps. They are there. Systematical gaps, they are there. And there is nothing you can do about it. So sometimes you don't have to blame yourself. When it does happen, just pick up yourself and then decide on the right move to make. Where do I go for help? Where do I seek help?
And there's plenty of help.
About
there's plenty of help. No. Ignorance is killing us.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's give a message to the community. So what would you like to tell people in Southeast who are struggling financially today? What would you like them to know?
Okay, I would like them to know that Skin Financial Empowerment Project is out there.
It's out there.
And we have people willing to help. So please do come to our entry point at DNS and CTC, and we are always there to help. MCTC on Thursdays from the hours of 4 to 6. And then DNS on Tuesdays from the hours of 12 to 2. And then on Wednesdays from the hours of 11 to 2. So please make use of us. Come, we are willing to help.
Awesome. Okay, so so we mentioned the locations. Okay, so how can churches, mosques, and other community groups play a stronger role in poverty prevention? What do you think they can do more?
Yes, I think we should educate our members. Let them know where to go for help, and then also allow workshops to be organized in their churches, their mosques, their community centers. Also to educate people on where to go for financial assistance.
The pastors and the imams who are listening, the rabbis who are listening, where the people with these struggling issues, don't keep them to yourself. Just encourage them to reach out to these entry points and get help, because that is what it's meant for. Right? Okay. So what gives you hope? This is the final question. What gives you hope when you're working so closely with families who are in distress?
For me, one thing I believe that there is light always at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So then, no matter your situation, no matter how you are struggling, no matter your distress, there is always help out there.
Amen.
So you just make the move. I always say, just make the first move, and then come, and we will look for the help that you need. We will look for the answers for you. We will help you get the results that you need.
Thank you.
So just make a move.
Make a move.
Yeah.
Make a move. That is a key word. That is a catchphrase for us.
Yes,
make a move.
Make a move.
All right. So the aim is that nobody must live in poverty when there is the help that you need. So you've heard everything. Check the information that will be on the screen and reach out to the entry points so they can support you.
Yes.
Deal with whatever situation that you're facing. Thank you so much for being on this show with me, and hopefully we can get you back some other time.
Yes.
God bless you.
God bless you too, Papa. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Well, so you've heard it all, and please stay tuned. We're coming your way again next week. Thank you. God bless you. Bye bye for now.